Speaking test instructions. The speaking test is 20 minutes. There are 8 tasks in the speaking test. Please try your best to answer all the questions.
Start speaking now. Time is up. 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 Jordan, I've noticed you've been working extremely long hours lately, and I'm concerned about the impact this might be having on your well-being. Establishing better work-life boundaries is crucial for long-term career sustainability and personal happiness. First and foremost, consider implementing strict time boundaries for your workday. Despite the culture of constant availability, research consistently shows that productivity significantly decreases after 8 to 9 hours of work. Therefore, set a firm end time, perhaps 6 p.m., and honor it as you would any important meeting. Furthermore, technology makes it particularly challenging to disconnect. Try installing apps that limit work email and messaging access after certain hours. Additionally, create separate work and personal profiles on your devices to maintain psychological boundaries between these aspects of your life. Another effective strategy involves communicating your boundaries clearly with colleagues and supervisors. Many professionals fear setting limits will damage their career prospects. However, most managers actually respect employees who can articulate their needs professionally. Consequently, have direct conversations about realistic workloads and deadlines rather than silently accepting unsustainable expectations. Most importantly, schedule personal activities with the same commitment you give to work obligations. Whether it's exercise, family time, or pursuit of hobbies, blocking these in your calendar makes them less likely to be sacrificed when work demands increase. Moreover, taking regular vacations, completely disconnected from work, is essential for maintaining perspective and creativity. Remember that work-life balance isn't about achieving perfect equilibrium every day, but rather ensuring that over time, both areas receive adequate attention. By implementing these boundaries, you'll likely find yourself more focused, creative, and ultimately more effective during your actual working hours. 3 years ago, I decided to learn pottery making, specifically wheel throwing, as a creative outlet for my primarily digital-focused career. The initial challenges were both physical and mental, far more difficult than I had anticipated. First and foremost, developing the proper hand positioning and pressure control took extensive practice. My early attempts resulted in countless collapsed bowls and misshapen objects as I struggled to center the clay properly on the wheel. Furthermore, the physical coordination required was completely foreign to my body, which was accustomed to typing and clicking rather than the delicate balance of pressure needed for forming vessels. Additionally, I discovered that pottery demands a mindfulness and patience I hadn't cultivated in my fast-paced daily routine. Despite these challenges, I persisted by committing to weekly classes and setting up a small practice area in my home. The breakthrough came after approximately 6 months, when muscle memory began to develop and the process became more intuitive. I overcame the technical hurdles by breaking down each step of the process and practicing them separately before combining them. Consequently, my skills improved dramatically once I stopped rushing the learning process. The benefits have extended far beyond having handmade mugs and bowls. Pottery has become my meditation, forcing me to slow down, focus completely on the present moment, and disconnect from digital distractions. Moreover, it has introduced me to a community of diverse individuals I would never have met otherwise. Most surprisingly, these skills have actually enhanced my professional work by improving my attention to detail and patience with iterative processes. What began as a challenging hobby has evolved into an essential part of my life and well-being. This illustration depicts a busy self-service laundromat where several people are engaged in various aspects of doing laundry. In the foreground, a young man in an orange shirt and a girl in a pink top are sorting clothes on a folding table with white laundry baskets, carefully organizing their garments by color and type. Meanwhile, in the background, a woman in a teal shirt is loading clothes into one of the many industrial washing machines that line the wall. The right side of the image shows a waiting area where 3 people are seated on a bench, with one person reading a newspaper to pass the time. Additionally, a woman in a purple sweater stands nearby with a cart full of laundry, presumably waiting for her turn at the machines or for her cycle to finish. Not only does the scene capture the communal nature of public laundromats, but it also illustrates how these spaces function as social environments where people from various backgrounds briefly share a common purpose. Furthermore, the warm color palette and the calm expressions of the characters suggest that despite being a chore, doing laundry in this setting appears to be a relatively pleasant social experience. What makes this scene particularly interesting is the diverse age range of the participants, highlighting how this everyday activity connects people across generations, as they collectively engage in this necessary household task in a shared public space. Initially, the man in the orange shirt will finish folding his laundry, whereas the woman removing clothes from the washing machine will transfer them to an available dryer. Subsequently, the young girl in pink will complete sorting her colorful garments, while simultaneously, her mother will begin loading their next batch of laundry into an empty machine. Meanwhile, the group seated in the waiting area will continue their conversation, and consequently, one might offer to help the others with their folding tasks. Furthermore, as the washing cycles complete, those waiting will undoubtedly check their machines and proceed to transfer their wet clothes to available dryers. Despite the communal nature of the laundromat, everyone appears to be efficiently managing their laundry processes. Nevertheless, someone might soon request change for the machine or laundry detergent from fellow customers. In addition, once the folding is complete, the family with the cart will methodically organize their clean clothes before departing. In conclusion, this ordinary yet essential routine will continue as people arrive with dirty laundry and leave with freshly cleaned garments, thereby maintaining the cyclical nature of this community laundromat. Lisa, I understand you're considering the partial DIY approach for our renovation, but I firmly believe going fully DIY would be significantly more beneficial for us. First and foremost, the financial advantages are substantial. We could save up to 40% compared to hiring contractors by eliminating labor costs, which typically constitute the largest portion of renovation expenses. These savings could then be redirected toward higher quality materials or additional improvements we hadn't initially budgeted for. Furthermore, taking the DIY approach gives us complete control over the timeline and decision-making process. Unlike with contractors who juggle multiple projects, we can prioritize aspects most important to us and adjust the schedule around our own commitments. Additionally, the learning experience would be invaluable. Developing skills in tiling, basic carpentry, and painting would serve us well for future home projects and maintenance. Despite the concerns about potential mistakes, remember that we can thoroughly research techniques beforehand through online tutorials and workshops. Moreover, for particularly challenging aspects, we could still consult with professionals for advice while handling the actual work ourselves, ensuring we maintain quality without the full expense of contracted labor. Although the partial DIY approach might seem like a compromise, it actually combines the disadvantages of both options. We'd still experience timeline extensions while also paying significant professional fees. The satisfaction of creating our own renovated space would be immensely rewarding, giving us not just a beautiful home but also a genuine sense of accomplishment and connection to the space. Consider how much more meaningful our renovated home would feel knowing we transformed it with our own hands. Wouldn't you prefer having that story to tell? Lisa, while I appreciate your enthusiasm for the DIY approach to our renovation, I strongly believe hiring professional contractors represents the wisest investment for this significant project. First and foremost, professional contractors bring years of specialized experience and training that simply cannot be matched by weekend research and tutorial videos. This expertise translates directly into quality workmanship that will maintain its integrity for years to come, unlike potential amateur mistakes that might require costly fixes later. Furthermore, professional renovations typically add more value to our home than DIY work, providing better return on investment should we ever decide to sell. Additionally, time efficiency cannot be overstated. Professionals can complete in weeks what might take us months of evenings and weekends. Consequently, we'll experience significantly less disruption to our daily lives and routines. Although the partial DIY option might seem like a middle ground, it often creates coordination challenges and quality inconsistencies between professional and amateur sections of the work. Despite the higher upfront cost, professional contractors provide important warranties and guarantees for their work, offering protection and peace of mind that DIY cannot. Moreover, experienced contractors can anticipate and navigate potential complications that wouldn't be apparent to us until we're midway through the project and potentially facing serious issues. The stress reduction alone makes professional help worthwhile. Instead of arguments over technique and responsibility when things inevitably go wrong, we can simply enjoy watching our vision come to life through skilled hands. Consider the value of our weekends and peace of mind. Aren't they worth the additional investment to ensure the project is done right the first time? Hello, Ms. Rodriguez. This is Carlos calling about the speaking invitation for the industry conference on March 15th. First and foremost, I want to express my sincere appreciation for selecting me as a speaker for this prestigious event. I'm truly honored by the opportunity and recognition. Nevertheless, after careful consideration, I regretfully need to decline the invitation due to a prior personal commitment that I cannot reschedule. My close friend's wedding is taking place that same weekend in another city, and I've already committed to being part of the wedding party. Furthermore, this commitment was made nearly a year ago, and the couple has built their wedding plans with my participation in mind. Despite my strong professional interest in participating in your conference, I feel I must honor this personal commitment to my friend. Additionally, I understand this creates an inconvenience for your planning committee, and I wanted to provide as much notice as possible so you can secure another speaker. If it would be helpful, I would be happy to recommend several colleagues with similar expertise who might be excellent alternatives for my speaking slot. Moreover, should you have similar events planned for the future, I would be genuinely enthusiastic about participating at another time. I truly value the recognition represented by your invitation and hope that declining this particular opportunity won't adversely affect consideration for future events. Thank you for your understanding regarding this difficult decision. Taylor, I need to talk to you about something important regarding your wedding. First and foremost, I want you to know how honored I am that you asked me to be part of your wedding party and how much your friendship means to me. Nevertheless, I've recently received an unexpected professional opportunity that has created a difficult situation I need to discuss with you. I've been invited to speak at the National Industry Conference, which unfortunately falls on the same weekend as your wedding. Furthermore, this speaking engagement represents a significant career opportunity that could open important doors for my professional development. Despite exploring every possible option to make both events work, the geographic distance between them makes it physically impossible to attend both. I wanted to be completely transparent with you about this situation rather than making a decision without your input. Additionally, I understand the importance of your wedding day and how carefully you planned for everyone's participation. Consequently, I wanted to discuss possible alternatives if I'm unable to fulfill my role as originally planned. Perhaps I could participate in other pre-wedding events, or we could arrange for me to be virtually present for certain aspects of the celebration. Moreover, I want you to know that I'll completely understand if you need to replace me in the wedding party to ensure everything proceeds smoothly. I value our friendship deeply, and I want to handle this situation in whatever way causes you and your partner the least stress. What are your thoughts on this situation? I'm open to any solution you feel most comfortable with. I believe traditional printed books will continue to coexist with digital formats rather than being completely replaced, though their market share and cultural position will continue evolving. First and foremost, printed books offer unique sensory experiences: the texture of paper, the distinctive smell, the visual satisfaction of a physical bookshelf, that digital formats simply cannot replicate. For many readers, these tangible qualities create a deeper emotional connection to the reading experience that transcends mere content consumption. Furthermore, physical books offer certain practical advantages. They operate without batteries, create less eye strain during extended reading sessions, and maintain their functionality regardless of technological changes or compatibility issues. Additionally, numerous studies indicate that readers often retain information better from physical books compared to digital text, suggesting that print formats may maintain particular importance in educational contexts. Nevertheless, ebooks and digital reading platforms clearly offer compelling benefits: convenience, portability, adjustable text features, and instant acquisition, that have secured their permanent place in the reading ecosystem. Moreover, for certain types of publications like reference materials, technical manuals, and academic journals, the searchability and updatability of digital formats provide distinct advantages over print. The market appears to be settling into a complementary relationship where different reading contexts favor different formats. Many readers now maintain hybrid reading habits, choosing physical books for pleasure reading or significant works while utilizing digital formats for travel, convenience, or reference materials. Consequently, rather than witnessing complete replacement, we're more likely to see continued specialization, with physical books potentially becoming more focused on quality as objects, better bindings, more thoughtful design, and enhanced tactile experiences, while everyday reading increasingly shifts digital. Therefore, while digital reading will likely continue growing its market share, printed books will remain relevant cultural artifacts with dedicated audiences and specialized purposes for the foreseeable future. Alex, you absolutely need to bring your kids to this incredible new playground I just discovered while taking Sarah out today. You're not going to believe this, but they've built an entire candy-themed wonderland that looks like it came straight out of a fairy tale. The centerpiece consists of 2 massive gingerbread houses, complete with frosting-trimmed roofs and colorful candy decorations all over the walls. What makes this place truly exceptional is how they've transformed ordinary playground equipment into sweet-inspired masterpieces. There's a giant chocolate bar that serves as a slide, candy cane poles supporting rope bridges, and even lollipop sculptures surrounding the play area. Sarah was absolutely beside herself with excitement from the moment we arrived. In fact, she's been racing between the cookie-climbing walls and the spiral tube slide for the past hour without showing any signs of getting tired. Not only is everything visually stunning, but the attention to detail is remarkable, with different textures and heights that challenge kids of various ages. Despite having just opened last week, it's already becoming the talk of the neighborhood, which means it'll likely get crowded once word spreads further. Given how much your children love imaginative play, I strongly suggest you bring them tomorrow afternoon when it's less busy, as I guarantee this magical playground will instantly become their new favorite spot.